In our first story, the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has expressed disgust at the state of Ghana's traditional mining towns despite the billions of dollars worth of minerals that have been extracted from there. The Obuasi mine, owned largely by South African-based AngloGold, for instance, though regarded as one of the top 9 largest gold mines on earth, and where gold has been mined for over 112 years, remains in a distressed state with unemployment and underdevelopment visible on the streets. A Minerals Development Fund, approved by Parliament way back in 2016 to set aside a percentage of mining resources to be channeled into developing mining communities, is yet to be implemented. President Akufo-Addo, who opened the West Africa Mining Conference, described the situation as unfortunate.
The truth must be told. It is difficult for the average Ghanaian to appreciate that the country gains substantially from mining. It probably has to do with the fact that the communities in which mining has been done remain largely underdeveloped and do not show signs of being the origins of what brings wealth to so many people and places. For years, we were told the mine in Obuasi was the richest gold mine in the world. The question is justifiably asked: how come Obuasi does not show any sign that it is the home of the richest gold mine in the world? The contrast between Obuasi and Johannesburg, for example, is stark and compelling. The distressed state of mining communities, in which mining companies operate, is nothing short of a disgrace, and we must work to change the situation. Even though mining companies have over the years complemented the work of government in these communities, I'm certain that a lot more can be done to transform the communities if government and the mining companies collaborate in an intelligent and sustainable manner. The Minerals Development Fund Act of 2016, Act 912, was enacted to address some of these problems. And my government is working to ensure that the Act is fully operational to provide financial resources to transform mining communities.
The President assured those affected by the ban on small-scale mining that government is exploring alternative livelihoods for them, but also accused large-scale mining companies of being complicit in the pollution and degradation of the environment.
The nation faces a great difficulty with the activities of illegal miners, or gananciers as we call them. This is a problem that should be of great concern to the large-scale mining sector and the Chamber of Mines as well. The rise in illegal mining has no doubt been fueled not only by the unemployment problem that has blighted our nation for so long, but also by the unhealthy desire for quick riches. There must be a lot of opportunities in the mining sector to help with the unemployment of our youth. I refer in particular to our One District, One Factory program as an avenue through which we can enter the value chain addition of the mining industry. A large amount of spending by mining companies leaks from the domestic economy through the importation of several tools and equipment which Ghana has the capacity to produce. It is time to reverse this trend. Ghanaian entrepreneurs must be encouraged to work with the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the Chamber to identify opportunities in the value chain where indigenous companies can manufacture these products locally. We are determined to establish a new paradigm of an integrated mining industry to propel local manufacturing. The value chain of mining has huge potential for job creation, and we intend to tap into it to develop our economy. We cannot and should not continue to be merely exporters of raw materials to other countries. And I'm calling on all players in the sector to work with us to deepen the integration of the mining sector with the non-mineral sectors of the economy.
The First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, is promising to do all she can to improve maternal and child health in the country. She says it is the reason her Rebecca Foundation is investing in projects that would ultimately see a realization of that objective. The latest of those projects is a state-of-the-art pediatric intensive care unit at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, equipped with the same facilities and equipment as the maternity and mother and baby unit at the Kwame Teaching Hospital. Mrs. Akufo-Addo spearheaded. Sir Kwame Boateng was at the groundbreaking ceremony, and here is his report.
The Korle Bu Teaching Hospital Child Health Unit had little or no challenge before the 2012 election. This structure, which they occupy, was then comfortable for them, though it is now dilapidated and poses a danger. They were, however, instructed to move to this one big room to allow for demolition of the old structure to make way for the construction of an ultra-modern pediatric intensive care unit. That never materialized, and they were also not allowed to return to their old spacious block. The limited space in their new unit, together with lack of essential life-saving equipment, has created serious congestion here. That's according to Professor Ebenezer Bedu, head of Department for Child Health.
This is our premier hospital. It's interesting how others refer to our premier hospital. And we are not that equipped really to take on that advanced care, and that is something now we look forward to because we need it here.
Scores of children have died here as a result, and that has not stopped. About 3 deaths are recorded here daily, according to Dr. Frank Owusu-Setre, one of the consultants in charge of this unit.
A lot of people tend to think that as doctors, we are so used to people dying, so we are kind of immune. No doctor will ever get immune to a child dying, particularly for those that we know we can do something for, that we lose. If the intensive care unit is full, it's full. And that is it. So you do what you can. Sometimes we do what we call manual ventilation with a bag and mask. And when we are not able to, then we leave them and then they die as it were.
This is heartbreaking for mothers who witness these deaths.
Damaging their small baby, fresh baby pan, and I think so we did 3 days.
But this narrative is about to change with the intervention of the First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo. Today, she broke ground for the construction of an ultra-modern pediatric intensive care unit in accordance with her vision to fight maternal and infant mortality. This unit will take care of pediatric and neonates admitted through the emergency room and are either intensive care or high dependency patients.
The pediatric services in Korle Bu suffer from lack of space and resources to welcome and host emergency pediatric patients and neonates born outside the hospital. This is a facility that is urgently needed to save the lives of our precious children and arrest the needless infant mortality.
She announced it will have the same features as the one built at the Kwame Teaching Hospital.
The new facility will apply the same green technology used in the Kwame mother and baby and pediatric intensive care units. It will therefore be a highly energy efficient building with reduced operating costs and facilitate better use of the hospital's limited resources.
Chief Executive of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Felix Anya, says this intervention is timely.
We shall be able to have a first-class children's emergency, which, with all the equipment that is needed to make right diagnosis and right monitoring of children, reduce mortality, reduce cross-infection, reduce inability to refer patients, and so make Korle Bu what we plan of targeted it to be.
Africa Building Partners, the construction firm which built the Kumasi facility, will be putting up the Korle Bu unit. Its chief executive, Eric Ginny, and lead engineer, Stefan Koret, speak about the project.
So what we've been asked to do is to build a ground story unit, but with capacity to extend in the future, so to allow for multi-story construction in the future. Currently, the way that it's been set up, it's partly a PICU, a pediatric intensive care unit, and also a NICU, a neonatal intensive care unit, a much smaller one, but alongside the PICU.
We're going to look for the best brands to equip the building, the ones that provide the right technology, as well the proven technology that has worked in Ghana before, and with the right support teams to give support to the doctors and nurses.
Hopefully, the future presidents, first ladies, and other influential people who are birthed in this unit can expect a safe delivery. Seth Kwame Boateng's report for Joy News.
In other news, metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives have raised concerns about the minimum voter turnout required for the year to be implemented chief executive elections. They believe the current voter apathy could work against the smooth running of the process. They raised these concerns at a sensitization and awareness raising workshop on election of MMDCs in Kumasi.
Article 2904 requires that at least 40% of the persons entitled to vote voted in a referendum, and at least 75% who voted cast their votes in favor of the bill. Though the MMDCEs underscore the initiative's importance in the country's democratic dispensation, they believe the current voter apathy, especially at the district level elections, cast a shadow on its successful implementation.
40% turnout, that's against 70% endorsement to yes, as far as the referendum is concerned. This is where I have a little bit of a problem. Shall we have that 40% turnout, 70% out of the 40 going for? It's not easy. I think that I've asked myself this question for a long time. That if we are able to push this agenda, I think that it will help the country foster unity, give people variety of choices to make, and also make good choice. Because at the end of the day, you, the MC, will be accountable to the people. Because after 4 years, you go back to them and seek for their mandate. If you're able to do it well, they will renew the mandate for you. If you're not able to do it and do it well, there will be a damning consequence for you to also meet. So I think that it will help the country move forward.
MMDCE since 1988 have been appointed by the President and approved by the General Assembly. Minister of Local Government Haja Mahama, however, thinks the situation presents a gap in Ghana's local governance system. Therefore, the ministry is currently engaging Ghanaians on the issue. Haja Mahama said it will pave the way for the necessary constitutional changes in 2020, culminating in the elections in 2021.
This process has therefore been initiated to bring about the necessary constitutional, legal, policy and institutional changes to ensure that MMDCs are elected on partisan basis. Accordingly, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, as the ministry directed and given the assignment by the President, the ministry has developed a roadmap designed in phases, highlighting activities to be implemented from 2017 to 2021 to guide the process.
Reporting for JoyNews,
Meanwhile, the Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Hajia Halima Mahama, has appealed to traditional leaders to play key roles in government's attempt to deepen local governance with the election of metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives. According to her, the mode of appointing MMDCs has been identified as a governance gap, hence the need to involve traditional leaders. Hajia Halima Mahama, who made the call Asunyaning at a 2-day workshop on sensitization on the election of various MMDs in Ghana, noted there is a constitutional amendment which requires a referendum for amendment. Well, so let's move on. Participants, including municipal and district chief executives in the Bonafo region, also expressed their desire to support the government achieve its quest to elect MMDCs. And that'll be it for the latest news headlines. Please, we have review of the newspapers. So we'll be coming up, myself, Mama View Sobwajo. We'll be looking at the front and back pages of the newspapers, and then also we'll look at myjoyonline.com, the other online portals as well. Stay on.